All right, so continuing here, what we want to do is let's make the Starbucks to be kind of in the middle here. Now, because we have a Z stack here, we can actually put a spacer here. So we push the Starbucks to about the middle. So let's go to the top view, and right at the end, well, at the beginning we have this spacer here. At the end of our Starbucks, we're gonna put another spacer here. So you can use a lot of spacers to kind of extend the surrounding regions, if you will. It's going to push everything, and you can see now Starbucks is about in the middle, and we can move our icon here maybe more to the left here, so maybe about 40, leading padding there. Okay, looks pretty much better. And the trailing padding, instead of 100, I'm gonna move this to about 50. So it goes a little bit to the right there. So you can play around with this until you get to the right. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, kind of looks like this is way to the left. Let's perhaps make this 20. We can be picky and end up spending too much time, but at least you get the idea. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. We can always change things anyway. Very good. So we have our top part of our application here, this top there. And now it's time for us to create this top card, as we're going to call it. Now, the idea here is we want to create this card as it is, but we want to get this kind of slant, this kind of round edge that bleeds into another edge here. This is where we're going to use a little bit of ingenuity to get this actually to work. But let's start with first things first. Let's create this nice rounded rectangle. So as always, I'm going to create a new view here, or new file, view, same thing. And I'm going to call this top card. And what I'm going to do here for our top card, I'm going to create a Z stack because I'm going to be adding a lot of things inside of it. And first of all, I'm going to create a rounded rectangle there, my new favorite, corner radius. Let's make this about 45 corner radius. I'm going to do the frame. The width, it's going to be about 380, and the height is going to be about 270. 270 as such. What I'm going to do, let's go ahead and call that right away so we can see how everything is looking. Let's go back to our content here. Let's call our top card as such so we can start seeing things showing there as we adjust. There we go. You can see our top card is smooshed up the top there, kind of hiding everything. We are going to make a few changes, of course, so we can see everything a bit better. While I'm there, let's go back to top card and change a few properties there. I want this to have a color, so I'm going to say foreground color. I'm going to invoke our color, and this one is going to be cream white. Save and run. That's a very nice color there, but we want to move it to the bottom a little bit there. So there's a few ways we can actually move this to the bottom there. The first one, we can just add a spacer here like this, and if we save and run, you're gonna see it's gonna drop down there. Now this, you're gonna notice it's gonna drop to the bottom here because we don't have anything at the bottom yet. That's why everything actually just dropped there, right? Now that's not desirable, but for now, so let's ignore that fact that this is actually being hidden at the top there. Okay, let's work on the contents of what's going to be inside there. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to move our rectangle here more to the left. So what I need to do, after the frame here, I'm going to say dot offset, and I want X to be, let's say, minus 17. Let's see if that's going to help us. Right, so that's quite nice. And next, what we're going to do, we're going to add something else inside of our rectangle here. So which means we're going to have to put all the data inside there. So I'm going to go ahead and create another rounded rectangle like this. I'm going to give a corner radius of about 10. And frame, it's going to be, let's see, width, it's going to be about 100. And height, let's do about 180. And I'm going to offset that as well. I'm going to say X is going to be about minus 165. So essentially this rectangle here is going to be somewhere around here. So actually what we're trying to do is to create some sort of illusion that we will have this very nice rounded corner here that kind of leads in between these two colors. So that's what we're trying to do here. So we are going to mask another item on top of that that will look as if we were cutting this off and we are actually creating another round corner like this. Okay, it's quite clever if you think about it. All right, let's see, and we need to add a color, of course. I'm going to say foreground. Say foreground color. In this case, I'm going to say color, and it's going to be cream white. And let's go ahead and add X value here so we can actually see it. Let's give a 100. Save and run. Oops, this has to be Y. And there we go. You can see it. It's right there. Continuing here, let's go ahead and add the text first here. So we'll take care of this later. Let's go close this down. And at the bottom here, I'm going to put an H stack. And then I'm going to add an image. And this image is going to come from us. It's going to Frappuccino, if I spell correctly. And that resizable. And I'm going to render it. The mode is going to be original because I want to make sure it actually fits perfectly and it looks good. And let's do the frame. I'm going to add the width of the frame to be around 150 such, and the height it's going to be around 150 as well, like that. Give a click around here to see. That should be inside. There we go. That looks real good. It's actually going to be to the left here, but we'll see in a second here. Okay, so inside here, I'm going to add this scroll view, which is going to have then to push this to the left. So I'm going to go inside of H stack because I want this to be horizontally aligned. I'm going to put a V stack because I'm going to have at the top the actual scroll and at the bottom the text. So it's going to be something like this. So we're going to add now this row and then the text. All right, so V stack, there we go. I'm going to put a scroll view right away, and I want this to be horizontal and shows indicators I want it to be false. So inside here, I'm going to put another H stack, and this is where I'm going to put a for each loop because I'm going to add all of these items here. Okay, the rows, if you will. So for each. And for now, I'm going to just go ahead and put a very simple 0 to about 5. Okay. I'm going to say item in like that. And let's create a few of these items inside of this row here, inside of the scroll view. Okay. So this for now is going to be very, I think I need to add a third dot there. There we go. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and add a Z stack because I want to stack things inside of this, inside of each item there. So I'm going to add a rounded rectangle, my favorite, and I'm going to give about 30 on its corner. I'm going to have, say, the frame width of about 90. And height is also going to be about 90. So we are creating each one of these rectangles, each one of these items inside, okay? And foreground color, I'm going to use our color palettes, and this is going to be cream darker. So again, I'm getting this outside there. Okay, maybe make this a little bit bigger so you can see. Actually, made a mistake here. This should be like that and no spaces there. Okay, so I'm going to add at least 5 items inside of our for each loop there. Let's go ahead and save and run and see if we're going to see something. Nicely done. You can see now we have our, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6 item, that is from 0 to 5. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and add a few pictures inside here real quick. So still inside of our Z stack here, because we are adding on top of our rounded rectangle. So that's why we put a Z stack within. And we call this bready. And let's give a frame. Actually, let's go ahead and make this resizable first. And then give it a frame. Width, it's going to be about 70. And height, it's also about 70 as such. And we're going to add a clip shape that would create this very nice round corner like that. So I'm going to say clip shape such, and we have to pass something inside. In this case, it's going to be a circle. And then I'm going to overlay that with another circle. And I'm going to give a stroke. Pass a color inside of cream white. And then the line width is going to just be 1. It's going to give us this very nice clipped background there. Very good. You can see it looks pretty much exactly as we have it here. Okay. All right, so we're making good progress here, and I do understand that in the beginning everything looks not that great, but at least you can see that we're making really good progress. So next video we'll continue constructing our user interface. All right, I'll see you next.